In this video, we're teaching you how to pick up an IFR clearance successfully. All right, guys, so today we're departing to Waco Regional Airport. I filed IFR from Georgetown to Waco. We filed 7,000 today. So the first thing we need to do is we need to pick up the ATIS, and in doing so, that gives us all the information we need about weather, runway closures, taxiway closures, construction, UAS activity, anything like that. And that just lets the tower know that, hey, the pilot knows what's going on at the airport and what to expect and what runways are active, right? So let's listen to that together.
We have ATIS information, Echo.
All right, Echo.
Georgetown Airport, ATIS information, Echo, time 1355 Zulu weather. Wind 360 at 6, visibility 10, sky conditions clear. Temperature 26, 2.22, altimeter 3005. Georgetown line departing runway 36, visual approach in use. Bird advisories are in effect. BFR aircraft advise ground control departure intentions. All aircraft require an engine run-up, advise ground control prior to taxi. Initial contact, you have ATIS information, Echo.
So we've got information Echo, the winds are pretty much right down the runway. We've got to do a couple of checks before we can depart IFR instrument-wise. So one is once we get rolling here, we need to look at our turn coordinator and make sure the ball is centered, and then it swings left to right as we move the nose left to right as we taxi. And then we've set our altimeter setting to 3005, and we just have to make sure that what altitude is reading on the altimeter is within 75 feet of the airport elevation. So we are good there. Our airspeed is 0, our VSI is 0, so all that is good as well. The other reason I'm flying to Waco is they have an amazing cookie shop. So I'm a cookie connoisseur, and there's a company in Waco called Milk Bottle Cookies. This flight really has two purposes, to show an IFR training video and to bring some cookies home. So let me just talk real quick about this. So our clearance for IFR, we use an acronym called CRAFT. So C-R-A-F-T, you can see it on the screen. So the C is clear to. We know where we're clear to. We're going to Waco, so we can write that down. R is for our route. So that's what you filed. And you might get something different, but if you want to know what you got, you can look on FlightAware. You can look on Garmin Pilot. You can look on ForeFlight when you file. You'll get the acknowledgement, as you can see on the screen. I've got my iPhone up there, so you can see what I got once I filed. And that's a good way to see what route you're potentially going to get. When you're departing an airport IFR, you're going to get a couple of things. Usually on departure, you're going to get radar vectors, and that either means you're going to fly runway heading, or they're going to give you some heading to turn to on after your departure. And then the first thing on our flight plan is DART, which is a fix on Victor 17. And so when you file a Victor Airway, you have to have an entry point and an exit point. So DART is our entry into Victor 17, and our out point is ACT, which is the VOR VORTAC at Waco Regional. Now the next letter on our acronym is the A, which is our altitude. Now this has two purposes. It gives us, what we're going to be flying on departure and what we're going to expect for our cruise altitude, which is typically what we filed. The other purpose of it is lost communications. So ATC expects us to be at a certain altitude in 10 minutes. Now most airports you will get an initial climb to either 3,000 and potentially 4,000. So Georgetown, I've always gotten 3,000. San Antonio, I've gotten 4,000 and 3,000 before. Lafayette Regional in Lafayette, Louisiana, I've gotten 4,000. I've gotten 2,000 a couple of times as well, but typically 3,000 is what you can expect. Our departure frequency, that's going to be who's controlling that outlying airspace, right? So for us, it's Austin. And that frequency is going to be 12722. We always get that. And you can find that in the chart supplement. You can find it on ForeFlight, Garmin Pilot. And then the squawk code, who knows what that'll be. I put a 4 down because I always get 4. It always starts with a 4. Sometimes it starts with a 2. And the call is going to be Georgetown Ground, Cirrus 514 Papa Romeo, midfield T-hangers with Echo, like to pick up our IFR to Waco. And if he doesn't have it printed out yet in the tower, he's going to have to call, and then he may give us that taxi instead.
Georgetown Ground, Arizona 616 at Aerogard.
And it's going to get busy here quick. It's already like 7 planes out, so. Georgetown Ground, Cirrus 514 Papa Romeo, information, Echo, midfield T-hangers, like to pick up IFR to Waco.
November 514 Papa Romeo, Georgetown Grounds, clear to the Waco Regional Airport via as filed, call and maintain 3000, expect 7000, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 127.22, squawk 7214.
All right, 514 Papa Romeo, clear to Waco Regional, as filed, 3000, 7010, departure frequency 12722, and squawk 7214.
There's 4 Papa Romeo, read back correct.
Okay, so we got as filed. He didn't have to read the whole route, so I used the preferred route. And typically when you use that preferred route that ATC wants, you get as filed. And then we got 3000, so we're going to bug 3000 on our altitude. That's our initial that we're going to climb to. And then our departure frequency 12722, and we'll program that in once we get to the run-up area and go through our checks. And then the squawk was 7214, so I wasn't even close, not a 4 or a 2. So there's that expectational bias that you can't have, but you got to be ready to copy something new. So 7214, enter. Now we're all set up. All right, guys, welcome back. We're in the run-up area, so we're going to go through our checklist. So we're going to switch over to our PFD, PFW window, split. Got our checklist. Before takeoff, all right, doors are latched and set. Caps pin is removed. Air condition recirc is disabled. Off. And then fuel quantity confirmed. We are on the fullest tank, starting left, we are. Okay, fuel selector cover is closed because we have automatic fuel switching in this plane. And then our run up, 2200 RPMs, check our mags, check the alternators.
554 taxi, Alpha Charlie, correction.
Now one thing I skipped was we set our control panel, so this is where we're going to set our flight plan. So we're going to bug 3,000 feet, that's set. And then we're going to do our flight plan. So we're going to come over to our MFW, click flight plan. We've got GTU as the origin, add destination. We're going to do Georgetown, Waco, sorry guys. I don't have that in there yet, so let's type in KACT. Enter. Waco Regional, we got that there, perfect. Now we need to add that waypoint that he gave us. That's on our route. He didn't give it to us. He gave us as filed, so we need DART.
November 292.
So we're going to type in DAR.
6 taxi.
DART. And we confirm that is the fix. Now we need to add the Victor Airway. So we're going to select DART, and then we're going to do load airway. And then it knows Victor 17 because we chose DART, but it's asking us for an exit. So that exit is going to be ACT because that's what we filed. And then we have to select load airway. And now we've got that entire route in our flight plan here. In IFR flying, VFR2, you want to program as much as you can on the ground. Get as many steps ahead of the plane as you can, because if we were taking off into actual IMC, you don't want to be doing a lot of programming while you're doing that. You want to take off and be able to hit 1 or 2 buttons and be done so you can focus on flying the plane. you can see it's busy here. There's a lot going on with IFR. So he's either going to give us runway heading or a right turn to 100. Who wants to take a bet on what it's going to be? I think it's going to be turn right to 100. Got a big old jet landing. Maybe you can see it on that camera. Ooh, birdie touchdown. All right, he's landing. I don't see anybody else, so we're gonna be next for departure. So mixture's full, fuel pump, lights, seatbelts.
Turn right, taxiway Juliet.
Let's see what our heading will be.
Juliet over ground 631.
4 Papa Romeo after departure, turn right heading 100, maintain 3000. Runway 36, clear for takeoff.
Our departure, turn to right to a heading of 100, maintain 3000, 36, clear for takeoff, 514 Papa Romeo. All right, so who guessed the heading of 100? If you did, I don't know what you win.
Sound Tower, Archer 523, Kilo, hold short 36.
All right, now I got a little crosswind from the right. But aileron deflection into the wind. All right, power's coming in. Power's set. Airspeed's alive. All right, everything looks good, sounds good. Everything's in the green. There's 50 knots. 60 knots. Ooh, she wants to come off the ground. And up we go.
Clear for takeoff 36, left on course, through on Kilo.
All right, through 75. Flaps coming up.
696 Charlie George, San Tower, short runway 36, working on your release.
Hold short 36 for release, 6 Charlie Charlie.
All right, we get to that safe altitude, which should be 1300 today for our caps altitude. And we can start our turn now.
Number 4 Papa Romeo, contact Austin departure.
Over to departure, have a go in 514 Papa Romeo. All right, we're going to switch.
600.
Caps, flaps are up and we're on the map page. We're keeping that turn coming, keeping it coordinated. Austin departure, Cirrus 514 Papa Romeo, 1,600 climb, 3,100 heading.
Phone 4, Papa Romeo, lost departure. Good morning, you're ready to contact half-mile northeast Georgetown. Clear direct, dark, climb, maintain at 5,000.
Clear direct, dark, climb and maintain 5,000, 514 Papa Romeo. All right, going up to 5,000 and we're turning. We're turning toward DART, so we're going to go into our flight plan. We're going to select DART, we're going to hit direct DART, activate direct DART, nav mode, autopilot.
4 Papa Romeo, you can climb maintain 7,000.
I climb to 7,000, 514 Papa Romeo. All right, we're cleared up to 7,000 now, which is what we filed. We got direct DART, and that's where we're going to intercept the Victor Airway, or enter the Victor Airway, and then you can see the fixes along that route: Retta, Conroe, Rolac, etc. So we think that heading bug. So that's the departure out of a Class Delta airport, IFR departure, picking up our clearance. And hopefully if you're an aspiring instrument pilot, which you should be, I highly recommend getting that rating. It's a game changer. It just makes you a safer, smarter pilot. So if you didn't understand it, that's okay. That's what our ground school is for. You can hop in there for a couple of weeks for free and try it out. But that's some of the things you're going to deal with when you're flying instrument. And so clouds are starting to build up. The other reason I wanted to do this flight early is because we've got thunderstorms later today. So I definitely want to do that when that is not in the area. So look for a future video when I show you guys the approach and landing into Waco. And it's probably going to be an RNAV approach, possibly an ILS, so we'll see. So be sure to tune in for that video. Thanks for watching, guys, and remember, a good pilot is always learning. We'll see you.